Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman. It's been a while since I've done a video that's face-to-face. And I wanted to talk about so many things today. We're going to be doing a lot today. It's kind of going back to the way that I used to do things. But I want to talk about spiritual warfare. I know that I've spoken about this before, but someone sent me a video of a fellow sister, a fellow light worker, someone that was being spiritually attacked. I'm not going to say, but she has a larger following than me. And I think she's a lovely soul. And I, came across that video. Someone sent it to me to see exactly what she was going through. And so I went through that video and I looked at it and I saw, her energy and how it felt and the things that she was going through. And I could just say, that I felt empathy, and I totally understand how she felt, because the last couple of months have not been easy here on my channel. Hope you like the new ensemble here in the background. I decided to get rid of the red roses and change to a glittery blue background, which I think kind of brings out my contacts, brings out my jewelry, and this color that I'm wearing today. So I hope you're doing well. This is going to be like a lengthy video. I don't know how lengthy. I always say that. And it probably is going to be like 20 or 30 minutes. But get your tea, get your popcorn. We're going to talk about like what has happened with me with the last couple of months. So it's very interesting because a lot of you know that I'm very conservative and I've spoken my views here on my channel and whatnot. But what you didn't know is that there were a lot of witches out there, people that do witchcraft, people that do black magic, people that have attacked me, not only via email, but also witches that have done spells and covens that have done spells on me, to get revenge, which is something that this beautiful lady, who is a psychic medium, I believe, as well, she's a channeler, and she was talking about how she was being affected, and they were doing witchcraft to her, and that's very true. In the spiritual community, you will find out that there's a lot of people who classify themselves as psychic mediums but are actually witches that work with voodoo or voodoo priestess and voodoo saints and gods. Like, they'll work with like Baron Samedi, and they'll work with these other, like the La Santa Muerte. So I'm not calling anyone out in particular. I'm just saying that it's something that happens in the spiritual community, and it's very sad, and unless you're very grounded and protected, you're going to feel the attacks. I don't care how, you could be a child of God like I am, and like she is, and other people, but you're still going to feel the attacks from the dark side. This is a very, it's a very dark world that we're living in right now. And this has to do with, the spiritual realm and what is loose here on earth. There are literally demons that are running here on earth and are inhabiting a lot of people that walk in the flesh, right? That are classified as human. So, it's interesting when you look at the world events and the things that are playing out, the people that are being murdered, the people that are being, certain things are happening to them. It's because, a lot of the times they're not carrying out these acts by themselves. It's actually darkness that is carrying this out and possessing them or taking control of them to do this. And a lot of people think, well, when we see the news, stop watching the news, stop believing everything that you see in the news, because the news does not know everything and it doesn't talk about everything. I feel like spirit sometimes is able to reveal more, and that's what I'm here for here on my channel, to sit down to reveal more about like what is really going on and what was happening to me. And so how do you know if somebody is doing you witchcraft or is doing you voodoo or is doing you dark things? There's a lot of things that I felt over the last couple of months, things that kind of were like red flags, which I already knew, even though I have protections and walls put up, protective spiritual walls. You're not immune to it. You're still going to feel some of that reverberating and kind of affecting you in some way. So like some of the symptoms that I felt personally were like headaches, strange headaches. It's almost like you have like these flu-like symptoms, but you're practically fine, right? What happens is that, and I'm explaining this in a way so that you can understand it. Now, there may be a lot of people that don't agree with me that are witches or that are in the spiritual realm, right? But there are, when you do black magic or you do darker things with voodoo or voodoo or however you want to say it, santeria, all these different things. It opens up doorways, and a lot of times these people are not working with just spirits, they're working with demons. And so demons are then unleashed, which some of them are already here on earth, and they do their bidding. But what the person that is doing this doesn't realize is that there are repercussions for themselves, because they're not more powerful than the spirit world. A lot of times all this work that they do comes back to haunt them. It's a work that's very dark, it's evil, and it comes back to haunt them. But you know what you will feel as a human being, because we have an aura, an energetic field, you will feel some of those effects hurting you. You will feel headaches, you will feel heart palpitations, you may have darker dreams, things just suddenly fall out of your hands, you know, and you're like, I don't suffer from any kind of illness, so like, why can't I, you know, or your hands are shaking because it's an intense burst of energy. So it's very interesting how all of this plays out. A lot of people don't realize that this is actually happening to them, and they just discount it as some kind of coincidence when it's nothing. It could be farther from the truth of a coincidence. It's actually real. It's something that is very real that's happening to you. And so how do you protect yourself from these dark witches and Satanists and people that are doing these evil things to you, right? So the first thing that I always tell is to put your spiritual armor on. Again, being very important to actually pray. Pray to Archangel Michael. He is one of the top archangels that fights evil. That is, you know, and if you go back to scripture, which I don't follow that, you know, I'm more spiritual, but I still, typically you will feel, you know, different types of things affecting, which I'm going to go more into depth. But Archangel Michael is one of the main archangels that you need to pray to if you feel like you're going through something of a spiritual battle, and just pray for him to protect you and to send his warrior angels down, or ask for warrior angels from heaven to come down and surround you. Again, people discredit and they discount a lot of times the power of prayer, but when you're looking at witches and witchcraft and what they do, they are using words which are typically spells. They are using prayers, but they don't call it prayers, they call it spells. So it's very important to understand what witches are using against you. It is their mouth, it is their thoughts. So your thoughts have to be as strong as their thoughts, but rooted in faith, in the higher power, in the divine, in the angels, and that they are supporting you. You cannot be fearful of any, you know, witchcraft or voodoo that is being done against you. You have to be very strong about it and level-headed. The most a common reaction, I would say, is that sometimes when somebody is being affected by this, you know, that they immediately they shut down, or they can't concentrate, or they're ridden with fear. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to be fearful. The enemy wants you to be scared, because it's easier for them to carry out their spiritual attack on you, and for it to have some kind of work, right? I'm very much about the Saint Benedictine medallion. Carry that all the time, because Saint Benedictine was one of those saints that was very much protected, and his medal is used as an exorcism medal. It's a medal that is used to ward against witchcraft and evil that is out there. So again, very important that you use a Saint Benedictine medallion, or an Archangel Michael medallion, you know, or a Cruz de Caravaca, which is I don't know if I said that right. It's like the cross of Caravaca. So there's like different crosses that you can use, and again, this is going more back to the Catholicism, right? The Catholic faith, and using that. It's not uncommon also to use relics, spiritual or religious relics, to protect yourself. Let me explain, because a lot of these different belief systems like hoodoo, voodoo, santeria, they have adopted and used a lot of religious artifacts. When you look at altars, you will see that they either have like they'll have like a cross on there, a crucifix, or they'll have some saints that are put up, like religious saints. So they too are still imploring or using part of, you know, God's kingdom, or the religious belief systems incorporated into their work to carry out their attack on you. So it's like they are meshing the spiritual realm, right, or the witchy realm, the evil realm, with, and I'm not saying that all witches are bad, but what I'm saying here is that the ones that are doing mainly dark work or doing work to attack another person, not to protect themselves, that's what is looked down upon, right? And that is really it's not good. And so that's the way that you can protect yourself. You can also protect yourself by putting up crystals, protective crystals like rainbow obsidian, black tourmaline, any kind of quartz, citrine. These are very powerful crystals. What is the other one? Snowflake obsidian. There's just so many different kinds that you can use that will help put up these barriers and protection around you. So, there's different things that you can do as well, like, to reverse all this evil that is coming towards you without getting too far into, like, the witchcraft world, or, if you are one of those people that are kind of afraid, doing reversal candles. And again, there's just so many other things that you can do. But the main thing, for you to really realize here is that people in the spiritual world right now are being attacked. Our former president was being attacked by a coven of witches. They were all doing spells. They were doing black magic to get him out of office. This is something that they may feel cocky about. They may feel good. They may feel like, oh, our work worked. But what they don't realize is that sooner or later, that work is coming back to them, because God does not condone that kind of energy, right? God does not like when people are using demons or using magic to hurt another person. It's not right. So a lot of people tend to think that there's no such thing as karma in the witch world or in the voodoo world. In this, belief system, they don't believe that there is any kind of repercussions and that it's okay to curse people. But it's not okay to curse people, and there's always a price to pay. Even when you go back to the movie The Craft and people say, oh, it's just, it was made up. No, when you look at it, it's very truthful what happens at the end, and Nancy goes crazy. She goes crazy in the movie, right? Because, again, you cannot control the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is stronger than you. We are humans. This is a human flesh. This is a human body. Even though we have a spirit in us and we are a soul, we're not fully in the spiritual realm. So for you to think that you have power or you have control over it, it's crazy. It is a lie. It is a lie to yourself, and it's a disservice to yourself. And a lot of times these demons will make promises to these people, and this is what Spirit has revealed to me, that they are going to do their bidding, they're going to get them what they want, and then at the end, they don't tell them that they come back to collect, or the devil comes back to collect. And the devil does come back to collect, and the spirits do there are what we call hungry souls, and they do come back to collect. And what do they collect? They could collect a loved one, someone in your family, someone that you cared very deeply about, and they could end up taking their soul, right? Or they could cause a premature death. There's many things that these entities that we're talking about can actually cause. And I think a lot of people think that will never happen to them. Again, it's not any different than playing with like a Ouija board and thinking that you're opening up a portal, and that you can control what's going to come out of that spiritual realm. Once a portal is open, anything and everything can come out, good and bad. So it's not something that you can really control unless you go into it very controlled by praying, saging, using Palo Santo, saying prayers, fasting maybe. There's different methods and techniques that you can use. But I know I'm kind of jumping a little bit all around the place. I want to talk about something else that is more in the hoodoo world and voodoo world. There are people out there, and I'm going to just call them witches, that use products that they sell to get what they want. It's almost like they put a spell on. I'm going to just give an example. They'll use candles. Let's say they use candles, right? And they sell them. They will say prayers, and they will attach spirits into those candles that keep the clients coming back for them more and more and more. This happened with a shop a long time ago, a shop out of New Orleans Not saying anything about anyone, but it was a shop that I used to buy candles from. These were like money drawing candles, or like holy candles for prayer, right? And it was something that was revealed to me by spirit, that these candles had something wrong to them. It wasn't until I think I maybe bought like a month later, I stopped, and spirit said, do not buy these candles, because the owner of the shop that I was buying them from has put some kind of spell or charm on those candles, so that those candles would be kind of like you would be obsessed, and you continue to buy from them and be glued to them. But at the same time, a lot of these people were wanting to tap into souls or collect souls. So it's very interesting. You would think that, okay, well, a human person cannot collect souls, and you're right, they cannot collect souls. They do not have the power, the power to do that. How they do that is that they use the demons, or they use spirits. And when I call them hungry spirits, and they use spirits from the other side to kind of get souls. And they can get souls of people who have passed over that are earthbound, or they can get souls, human souls. So that way, once that person has passed, right? And it doesn't matter if it's 70 years from now, well, they already have tabs on that soul to go to the other side. It's almost like a demonic kind of pact. And again, you may not agree, but it is something that does happen, and spirit revealed it to me, that this was something that was very factual, and something that was very much happening. And so I was instructed to, because I noticed at the time that I was using those candles, my business slowed down a lot. And I also felt like something was wrong, right, in my spirit. So I stopped buying her candles. I stopped buying this person's candles, and business picked back up again. So this is what I'm saying. Even though you may look up to certain people in the spiritual community, you need to kind of ask yourself, whatever you're buying, I don't care if it's Palo Santo, it's sage, it's a candle, whatever you're buying, you need to ask yourself, how does that make you feel? Does it feel okay? Does it feel good? Have you noticed anything that has changed in your environment? Objects can be haunted. A lot of people that are preparing these candles have, pacts that they've done with demons, pacts that they've done with the other side, with spirits, right? They have this, and some people will say it's like a friendship that they have formed with the other side. And so sometimes people don't form good pacts or good things with angels or God. They form these pacts with demons and darker spirits, or hungry spirits, that I would call hungry spirits. And what hungry spirits are, like I said, they can be they could have been, once alive once, but they are now kind of a lower level entity on the other side. They're not necessarily demons, but they kind of operate and act like that. And it's almost like the Grim Reaper, kind of like collecting souls or ushering souls in, but ushering them in for that person to have power when they cross over on the other side. For that practitioner, whoever that person is that has, that was doing this voodoo or santeria or whatever on the here in the physical world, when they cross over, they want to have power in the spiritual realm, so they can be like, some of these spiritual saints, or people that they practice, these entities that they worship, like Baron Samedi and all these other kind of gods. You call them gods, right? But they're not God, like the God that we worship, right? There are different gods in different religions that they use. So it's very scary, but it's also very convenient for some of these people to get business. This is how a lot of these artists and celebrities actually make it in the business. They don't necessarily have to sell their soul, like I said. But a lot of them, you'll see them dressed, very well. You wouldn't think that, they don't even dress like a goth. You wouldn't think that they would be working with these kind of entities, and the reality is that they are. And they have garnered so much fame and acclamation because it's a darker side that they have used, and not knowing that in doing so, they have basically sold their soul, or given their soul over to the dark side, and that there is later on. This is why you would see a lot of celebrities with these tragedies that happen in their family, right? Maybe like some family members that would pass away prematurely, or like, and there's an accident that happens. A lot of times it's that they have become so hungry themselves for fame or for fortune that they would do anything and everything that you wouldn't think that they do to garner this success, and they use the spirit world to do that. So it's not necessarily like they are, meeting the devil and having, a blood pact or whatever with them. They're doing it through witchcraft and through Satanism. Basically, a lot of the industry, like I said, is satanic, and you won't hear a lot of people talk about it. A lot of the human trafficking, the things of that nature that are going on, this is all attributed to Satanism and evil. And you must be very, very powerful and rooted in your faith to have that. This is why you will see a lot of talented people who are living in LA that are living the dream. They're wanting to live the dream, and they are super talented. They're aspiring songwriters and singers and actors and actresses, but they never make it onto the big screen. And it's because, again, there is a lot of Satanism and dark things that go on. These people have, it's a cult. It's a cult. It is a social circle, as a lot of these people describe it. Social circles. They don't refer to it as a cult to them, but it's like their circle of friends and people that they know that have influences and power and things of that nature. And so this is why you saw a lot during this last election, a lot of these celebrities that, all vouching for. It was very rare, that you would see one that was not. But this whole cancel culture is satanic. It is not the work of God. God doesn't work on canceling his children. God doesn't work on dividing his children from people. This is all satanic. This is all the devil's work that is going on, and it's stemming from the people in power. The people in power that control a lot of the government, or that control a lot of these places, is Hollywood. It is the celebrities. It is the people that are more important than the celebrities, these high-profile business CEOs that actually have trillions and billions of dollars, right? And they're really controlling and running the show. The show that is being run right now is being run by a lot of these Satanists, and they will not classify themselves as doing so. But pay attention to the signs out there. You will see a lot of people doing this, and I hate to even do that. That's a form of Satanism. They'll do the Lady Gaga thing over their eye. That's Satanism. And this is like, people will say this is part of the Illuminati. They will do the devil horns. And if you're not familiar with the devil horns, it's like that. And God forgive me for even doing that. But I'm like doing, no, it's not like that. It's like this. So you'll see them do these things. And the only reason that I'm doing them here, is not because I'm part of that, but because I'm trying to give you an example to wake you up. A lot of people were worshiping Cardi B for her WAP video and for all this other stuff that she was doing. And later on, you saw a lot of symbolism where she does this on her eye, right? It is, these are all satanic signs and symbols that kind of it's their language to the people. And people will say, oh, it's just cover. But if you go back and you see all the artists out there, they all do it at one time. And the people that have done it usually are the ones that have acclimated to this high level of fame or fortune, and they have become, but they're not truly happy at all. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with and like I said, there's always a price to pay. And so I sit back and I look at that. Now, is it okay to listen to some of their music? Of course. But you also have to kind of balance and not be on repeat on certain songs from these certain people. Because again, it's everywhere. You can't really escape it. You can't escape it because we're living in a world where even down to your McDonald's or to your other chains, there is symbolism in commercials and videos that you would be surprised. And I know a lot of you that are maybe listening to my channel are kind of excited that I'm actually finally talking about this. And some of you may be like, wow, that's just like way out there. You're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I really don't care. Like, I'm going to give it to you the way that I have been given it from spirit and the things that I have experienced. The thing about these people that want to, be successful is a lot of times they will do things and other people will make promises to them that they are going to make it, that they're going to do this and they're going to do that out there. when they are struggling themselves. But like I said, it's more of a spiritual warfare. So enough about that. Now we're going to talk about some recent things that have surfaced in the news about T.I. and Tiny. And if you don't know, you know, there was a whole thing about Rob Kardashian saying that that T.I. and Tiny had threesome or something like that with China, right? Or young China. So now there's a lot of stuff that is surfacing, a lot of people that are wanting to know the tea. And I'm just going to give you kind of like, I'm using my Rider-Waite Tarot and also my gift. And I want to know like what is going to happen with this. Now, T.I. is someone that is very vocal. I feel like he is one of these souls that is not in a good place right now. And I feel like Tiny is also in that kind of space. She knows that it's not good, but she also doesn't want to like fully abandon him or leave. So I'm just gonna basically just cover this like very, very quickly. He has a lot of stuff with the Tower card that came up that is surfacing. Other skeletons that are going to be released. He has legal battles like coming, women that are going to be accusing him. I don't know if he already has women that have been accusing him of things that he's done to them, but there is a lot of truth behind what is happening. I feel like there's things that he is trying to cover up, things that are coming out to light. But the Queen of Swords tells me that is Tiny. That would be someone that is always has his back, his ride or die. So there's a lot of cover up, but there are people with the Knight of Swords that are coming for him. Is this a battle that he's going to be facing for a while? And people are going to be coming for his money. I know the Ace of Pentacles comes up, but people are like, well, that may be money for him. No, this is money for other people. So people are going to be paid to be, people are going to be paid money so that they can go away. Okay, I'm not saying how this is going to happen, go away, but this is what, when I channel, this is what's coming from Spirit. So I don't know what that means, going away. He does not feel good. The Ten of Swords, they don't feel good. Tiny and T.I., they do not feel good. And I feel like it's going to be quite a while before they actually get you know, any kind of peace. But I feel like they're going through a journey. And the thing that's crazy is a lot of people are going to protect them because, again, they are in the industry or they look up to them as fans. But look, he then got this card, the Nine of Swords. So it's not a good situation. There's a lot of truth. A lot of people are suffering from the things that he has said, the things that he has done. He's like a Mr. Know-It-All, or he tries to be like a Mr. Know-It-All, you know, and that's the whole thing. He's not humble in the least. And that's something he's going to have to change in this lifetime, to be humble, because right now he has a lot of different options. He's got a lot of stress centered around him, and I don't see it getting better. I honestly don't, because again of the things that he does. Look, the Death card came out. This is kind of scary. Like, everything that I'm seeing here is very, very dark. So there is an ending here. I don't know. I don't feel like this is going to end soon. I don't feel like it's going to end, but there is potentially there is like an ending eventually, but it may not be well. And he's going to be holding on to his money. He's going to be holding on with the Four of Pentacles as strongly as he can, but it doesn't feel good. This whole situation feels bad. Like, look, the Four of Cups. So he's like indecisive. He knows that he's wrong. He doesn't want to apologize because he doesn't take accountability for his actions. He thinks that he's always right, and he's not. And he lives in the past a lot, and he is going to try to give to someone to kind of cover things up, to kind of hush things. So again, money, you know, when you're talking about people in the rap business, right, or people that have money, that are millionaires, money sometimes, look, that's what makes them happy, money. And so a lot of this, you're going to see some of these scandals maybe go away or die down, but it's all going to be about that. And then he's going to be traveling a lot. He's definitely going to be traveling. He's going to be taking a journey and kind of reassessing his life, because this is not good. The lifestyle that he's living is not good. See, moving away from things. There is a move out of, I think he's in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not sure, but that's where the last time that when I saw their show, T.I. and Tiny, I think it was like, I don't know if it was VH1 or where it was, but it was on one of those channels. And I remember that they were living in Atlanta, I believe. But I feel like there is going to be some moves. Maybe they're going to move to the East Coast, maybe to the West Coast. I don't know, but I feel like there is a move soon. And then, you know, I feel like he's coming full circle. This is like a cycle. This, even though it's a positive card, for me, it's almost like it's karma at play. This is like a cycle that he's gone through, and that he's going through now. But again, his major lesson here, from his past life into his current life, this is all karmic, is that he's going to have to be authentic with himself. He's going to have to change his way of attacking people and the way that he presents the energy. He does not like to be wrong. He wants to be right all the time. And this is a downfall for him, because it's going to cause other people not want to work with him. It's going to cause different lawsuits. It's going to cause people that he loves, his own children, to turn away from him. Look, third-party relationship. This is the Three of Cups, which should be a cup of, you know, a card of celebrations, but this is not celebrations. This is telling a story. He is not faithful, and Tiny knows this, and he's never going to be faithful with anyone that he's in a relationship with. It's always going to be another party. He's going to be 60 years old and still be with someone, right? And the Knight of Cups tells me that he is already like cheating or talking to somebody else. So like, I don't know, but it's like 2 or 3 different women that he's talking to. Look, he has a lot of battles up ahead with this card here, the Five of Wands. So it's a lot of turmoil. He's going to have to work very, very hard. He's going to have to work very hard and stay dedicated. So there is some projects in the music thing. But look, justice. So people out there are looking for, like I said, legal justice, and it will be coming to them. And then he's going to have to be like the Page of Swords and kind of stand his ground and move ahead and kind of like, and get rid of the, like, all the mental stuff that's going on. When I say mental, I'm not saying he's mental, I'm saying the stuff that goes up here, because the Swords is a mental suite, you know, and it deals with the card. The Magician tells me that he's very cunning. He is someone that is very much, like I said, it has, you know, different ways of expressing himself. He has different people. He has money. He can buy certain things. So he covers up a lot. So there's a lot about his situation that is not good. It's not healthy in the long run. And his children are going to be hurt emotionally, because I don't feel like they're going to like this. And a lot of them are younger, but some of the older kids are looking at this and they're feeling judged by their peers. They're feeling judged by other people. And you would say, you know, he would probably say, well, what do, you know, you don't have to worry about what anybody else thinks about us, you know, or my family. But really and truly, it's like unavoidable, because you're not thinking the bigger picture of what you do now is going to have repercussions. You know, if his name is tarnished, the whole family name is tarnished. And getting for the kids, let's say they wanted to go into a career, maybe not necessarily in the rap game, right, or in the music industry, but they want to go into acting, or they want to just go to corporate world. A lot of these people are going to look at their family or know who they are and the name, and they're going to be like, sorry, we're not interested. And so it's like causing things with his family. And I don't feel like he loves himself enough to realize that what he's doing is going to have these kind of cycles. And I feel like one of his children, or if maybe 2 of his children, I don't know, later on are going to come out and they're going to reveal things. I know that he had already did something to his daughter that his daughter had already talked about. I could be wrong about that, but I keep feeling like there's some more stuff that's not being said that is going to be said at some point. So that was the tea on that, and this is the conclusion of the video. I wanted to kind of talk about my own personal experiences, the things that I've seen and that I've been going through, as well as other colleagues out there. And I wanted to talk about T.I. and Tiny, because I was going through my Instagram and I was like, girl, I got to talk about this today on my little, I don't know what you want to call this, like Kiki moment with you guys. So anyways, you know, I wish T.I. and Tiny the best. I hope that they can work through their issues, and I hope he doesn't feel attacked by me, because I'm not coming for him. I'm just stating the obvious as a spiritual person, you know, who is psychic and a medium. And I think you don't have to be a psychic and medium to see some of the stuff that I see, or that I mention, because a lot of you are actually psychic without even calling yourself that. A lot of people are more intuitive than you think. And so if you are like, oh, well, it doesn't take a psychic to see that. Well, you're right, because you're probably psychic yourself and you're intuitive. And so, you know, it just takes your level of intuition to see and tap into that situation but you won't call yourself a psychic. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of talk about that. I hope that you're doing so well. Big angel hugs to each and every one of you. And again, thank you for supporting my channel. If you want to book a reading with me, you can go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/readings. For additional tea that you will not receive here or in any other of these platforms, you can go to Patreon. It is a $10 membership fee. It is patreon.com/psychicmediumray. And as always, if you want to donate to my channel, you can Venmo me some money if you want to donate to support the channel at Psychic Medium Ray. And I'll put these links down below at Psychic Medium Ray. And then Cash App, it's like the $sign and then Psychic Medium Ray if you want to donate to support the channel again. And let me see, what else am I missing? Follow me on Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. And I will repeat this again. I have scammers out there that are using my pictures and creating names that are close to mine on Instagram and on Facebook that are following people or DMing them. I will never DM you offering you a free reading or a reading for a certain price. I do not solicit. So if you want to book any readings, you need to go directly to my website. Again, also, if you're on Instagram, I have close to 29,000 followers, 28,000 followers, something like that. Look at the amount of followers that these pages have had. Go down to the last post, like the oldest post, and you'll see that it was recently created. Don't respond to them. Do not give them any kind of money. Report the account. Send me a screenshot if you come across this. Again, I'm just bringing it up because it's happening. It's sad, but it's happening. So anyways, I love you guys. Many blessings and love and light. Until next time. Bye.